Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to say a few words about two-way multivariate analysis of variance, that is MANOVA two ways or two-way MANOVA. Two-way MANOVA is a situation where we would like to compare groups or independent variables or factors with some clarifications or classifications or some categories on more than one somehow related dependent variables. In simple term, we can say that MANOVA is about comparing more than one dependent variable across two or more groups of factors. Before going to say in detail regarding two-way MANOVA, let us start our journey from t-test. As in the previous video, we have already explained t-test, but it will be beneficial if we start from the t-test also. In the t-test, we know is always associated with comparing two groups. For example, say Board of Secondary Examination, ICSE and CBSE, on the same dependent variable, say percentage of marks obtained in board exams. Therefore, here the independent variable, that is board, which has two categories. So one factor board which has two categories, ICSE and CBSE, and the dependent variable is percentage of marks. So in t-test, our research question is, does there exist any difference of mean marks obtained in board examination between the students under ICSE and CBSE? Next is one-way ANOVA, that is one-way analysis of variance. In this one-way ANOVA, here we face the situation of more than two groups of a factor on one dependent variable. Say the factor is same as before, that is board, but here instead of two we are taking three categories, that is ICSE, CBSE and SBSE, and the dependent variable as it is in the t-test case, that is percentage of marks obtained by the students in board examination. Therefore, in one-way ANOVA, the factor is independent variable or factor is board, but with three categories, ICSE, CBSE and SBSE, State Board of Secondary Education, and the dependent variable is percentage of marks obtained in board examination. The research question now, does there exist any difference of mean or average marks obtained in board examination among the students under ICSE, CBSE and SBSE? So this is one way ANOVA, since the only one factor is their board. If we consider more than one factor, then it becomes two-way ANOVA, that is two-way analysis of variance. Here we face a situation of more than two groups of a factor on the dependent variable. Say the factor is board with more than two categories, say ICSE, CBSE and SBSE, and the dependent variable percentage of marks obtained by the students in board examination, and another factor is gender. Therefore, two-way ANOVA, we have two factors, one is board with three categories, another is gender with two categories, male student, female students, and the dependent variable is like percentage of marks obtained in board examination. Now the research question is, does there exist any difference of mean or average marks obtained in board examination among the students due to difference in board? And the second hypothesis is, does there exist, or research question is this, does there exist any difference of mean or average marks obtained in board examination among the students due to differences in gender? So this is two-way ANOVA, because we are considering from two factors. So independent variables are two with some criteria. For the first factor it is three criteria, for the second factor it is two criteria. The first research question is the difference is due to the board, differences in board. The second research question is differences due to gender. Now coming to MANOVA, that is multivariate analysis of variance. Here we face more than one dependent variable. For example, so far we have considered marks obtained in board examination. Now we want to introduce another or other dependent variables, say percentage of marks obtained not only in board exam but also in HS, but also in graduation, etc. So one way MANOVA, we have one factor or independent variable consists of 2, 3 or more than 3 criteria, say education background, board, ICSE, CBSE or SBSE of the student. And in two-way MANOVA, we have more than one factor, say board as well as gender, just like two-way ANOVA, but here the dependent variable is more than one. However, our data set should also fulfill some other criteria for the fruitful application of one-way or two-way MANOVA. These criteria are the number 1, independent random sampling or independence of observations. Number 2, dependent variable should be ratio scale or with interval scale measurement. The linearity, number 3, the linearity of dependent variable, or there must be linear relationship between all pairs of dependent variables. We shall explain all these things one by one, but for this moment we have to remember that the data set should fulfill all these criteria for the application of the MANOVA, one-way or two-way MANOVA. And the next one is multivariate normality. Next is multivariate homogeneity of variance covariance matrices. For testing the above conditions, we generally apply Pearson's R, Mahalanobis distance, Levens test statistic, Box's M statistic, etc. In two-way MANOVA, our research hypothesis will be like means of first factor are equal, means of second factor are equal, no interaction, etc. This is one-way ANOVA diagrammatic presentation. Here independent variables are one with 3 categories, but dependent variable is like more than one. That is percentage of marks obtained in board exam, percentage of marks obtained in HS exam, percentage of marks obtained in graduation, etc. But in two-way MANOVA, the independent variables are now more than one, board as well as gender, board with 3 criteria, gender with 2 criteria, and the dependent variables are same as in the one-way MANOVA, percentage of marks obtained in board exam, percentage of marks obtained in HS exam, and percentage of marks obtained in graduation. So this is the set of structure of the data, and these are the assumptions or criteria that should be fulfilled by the data set for the application of one-way or two-way MANOVA. The main difference between one-way and two-way is that in the one-way only one independent variable or one factor with more than 2 or 3 categories, and the dependent variables are also more than one, but in two-way MANOVA we have more than one independent variable or factor. This is our hypothetical or fictitious data set. As usual, we know this is student's ID, or we have selected the students randomly by giving serial number like this, and we have the board, 3 categories are there. In the factor board we have ICSE, CBSE and SBSE. In this case we have taken equal number of sample size, 30 for ICSE, 30 for CBSE and remaining 30 for SB, State Board of Secondary Education. So total sample size is 90. Board code, we know we have to quantify the board in terms of board code. We have given 1 for ICSE, 2 for CBSE and 3 for State Board of Secondary Education. And we have given for another factor, that is independent variable gender, 1 for male student and 0 for female students. And the dependent variables are percentage of marks in board exam, percentage of marks in HS and percentage of marks in graduation. So this is our hypothetical data set. Now we have to convert this data into our SPSS software. So after converting the data, it looks like this. Data view is like this. Students ID, just it is shown in the Excel file. So board code, gender, percentage of marks in board exam, percentage of marks in HS, and percentage of marks in graduation. And in the variable view, variable regarding board code, it is given in the values 1 for ICSE, 2 for CBSE, and 3 for SBSE. Similarly for gender, it is given 1 for male student, 0 for female students. Okay, regarding all our scale variable, and we have taken this ordinal variable, ordinal scale male and female, and others are scale variable. Now we have to apply different tests to identify whether it satisfies the criteria for the application of MANOVA, multivariate analysis of variance, whether we can able to apply or not. So as we know, it depends on certain assumptions. If that assumptions are fulfilled, it provides very good results. Let's see. So first we start with multivariate normality. So though there is no straightforward test to prove this multivariate normality of the dependent variables, now the indirect way we can proceed in this way. Go to analyze, go to descriptive statistics, go to explore. Okay, dependent list, percentage of marks in HS, percentage of marks in graduation. And in statistics, go to statistics, descriptive, we have nothing to do. Continue. In plots, nothing to do. Stem leaf, we write normality plots with tests. Okay, continue. In option, okay, continue, click OK. Okay, it provides the result, the multivariate normality of the dependent variable. So case processing summary, it provides percentage of marks in board exam, percentage of marks in HS, percentage of marks in graduation, the total sample size, the percentage, the missing number, 0 missing number is there, and like this. Similarly for descriptive statistics, it provides mean, the confidence interval of the mean, and other statistics. Okay, similarly for all the dependent variables. Now this is tests for normality. The Kolmogorov-Smirnov test shows the normality assumptions is rejected because it is significant, 0.001, 0.002, and 0.007. So the normality tests corresponding to KS, it is popularly known as KS test, is rejected. We have violated this data structure, or hypothetical data structure violates the multivariate normality assumptions. Similarly, normal QQ plot shows the deviations of normality. Okay, so another way to prove the multivariate normality is the existence of outlier, and this can be done with the help of Mahalanobis distance. For this we have to go through in this way: analyze, regression, linear regression, and in case of dependent variable, in the box of dependent variable, in the box of independent variable, we plot the dependent variable. Actually this is because we are going to measure the Mahalanobis distance for the dependent variable, and in this case for measuring the distance, Mahalanobis distance, the role of dependent variable is not there, so any value can be plotted as in the dependent variable column. So our objective is to calculate the Mahalanobis distance among these 3 dependent variables. So what we have to do, we have to put the dependent variable in the box of independent variable. Now in statistics, nothing is this. Continue. In plot, continue. In save, we have to click here Mahalanobis. Okay, continue, and in option, okay, continue, click OK. So the variable entered, removed, and model summary, ANOVA, coefficients, we have to check This is Moholy-Nagy distance. So 9.22 is the maximum value. Maximum value is 9.22. So here it is lower than the critical table value. So it is not given the critical table value. Actually the critical table value is critical table value is for two dependent variable, it is 13.82, and for three dependent variable this is 16.27. So here the maximum value is 9.29, which is less than the maximum critical value. Therefore from Moholy-Nagy distance, this statistic, it shows that no outlier exists. That means we can take primarily that multivariate normality may present, or it satisfy the multivariate normality assumption. Next, to show the linearity, so what we have to do, go to graph, okay, Legacy dialog, then we have to go to scatter plot, then matrix scatter, okay, define, okay, matrix variables are like this: dependent variable, percentage of marks in board, percentage of marks in HS, and percentage of marks in graduation. And in the row we can find the independent variable board code and gender, board code or gender, okay. The graphs are showing, maximum graphs are showing from left corner to right corner, okay, left corner to right corner. So it apparently shows that from left corner to right corner, maximum scatter plot or plot of the scatter points shows the pattern is from left to right. It shows the linearity, multivariate linearity. So another way to show the linear relationship is like this: go correlate, bivariate. The variables are like this, all the variables, dependent variables, okay, Pearson's are okay. Here it is 0.50, that means board exam and HS exam. So there is correlation is there, and HS board, the marks in graduation, and board, the marks in graduation and HS. So these value should be greater than 0.2 but less than 0.9, which shows that to some extent the linearity is there, but it is not multicollinearity is not there. So if it is like 0.9 or more than this, then we could assume that there is multicollinearity exists. That means we cannot able to proceed. And if it is less than 0.2, that means the degree of linearity is very low. So according to the Fictitious data, it is clear that the data with respect to board exams and graduation marks is very low. So again, it little bit violates the assumptions of multivariate linearity, though we have nothing to do because this is totally imaginary data. But in practice, in real world, whenever we collect the real data, then definitely we should get the result which is more than 0.2, the correlation. We want to make little bit modifications in showing multivariate linearity, because in the last case we have shown in the independent variable as board, not board code. So let's see what happens if we use board code instead of board. So Legacy dialog box, scatter plot, scatter dot matrix, okay. Now in the matrix variable, as we know, percentage of marks, the percentage of marks in HS, percentage of marks in graduation, and in the rows, instead of board, now board code is given and gender is given. Now we are taking the graph or the scatter plot. The result showing like this. The species is getting okay. I think that there is no change in the result, or if we use board or board code. So more or less same. Now let's move to another or what we can say the main theme, that is the two-way multivariate analysis. For conducting this two-way multivariate analysis, now we have to proceed in this way. Go to analyze, go to general linear model. In the one-way MANOVA you have to click univariate, but since this is two-way MANOVA we have to put here multivariate. Okay, for dependent variable, as we know, percentage of marks in board exam, percentage of marks in HS exam, percentage of marks in graduation, and in fixed factor the board code is given and gender is given. Now in the model there is no change in the model. Okay, full factorial. And in contrast, okay, board, gender. Okay, in plots generally we have board code, three categories are there, so we can put it as in horizontal axis, and gender, two categories, put in separate line, gender separate line. So don't forget to click add. Okay, continue. Then post hoc, since the number of post hoc board code, post hoc test for gender also. Okay, and since the number of sample size is for ICSE, three categories under board, CBSE and SBSE, same, so it's better to click 2 key. Okay, in case of differences with respect to different categories, the most important thing is the scuffle, but at this moment we click 2 key. Okay, continue. Then save. We want to see nothing is changed. Okay, continue. The options, for options the overall, the board code, the gender, even the interaction of board code and gender we can want to see. Descriptive statistics, the estimates of effect size, the homogeneity test, etc. Now continue. Now click OK. The spaces will provide the result for two-way multivariate analysis of variance. The first one is showing the between subject factors and board code, gender. As we know, already explained this one. The board code is given by 1, 2, 3 boards, and gender 0 and 1, 0 for female and 1 for male. And percentage of marks, the descriptive statistics is given in this way: percentage of marks in board exam, percentage of marks in HS, and percentage of marks in graduation. And with respect to board and with respect to gender, the mean, the standard deviations, everything. That is why it is descriptive statistics. Now the important table is box test of equality of covariance matrix. This matrix should be more than 0.05 or more than, so that it should not be significant, because significant means we violates the equality of covariance matrix, since the significance level, test hypothesis that observed covariance matrices of the dependent variable are equal across groups. Okay, we have to accept this because this is the right choice. Had we been reject this, then it would create a very problem for our approach of this methodology. So remember, always we have to take care about the boxes test of equality of covariance. It satisfies our assumptions. Okay, and that equal across the various groups. Now multivariate tests intercept broad code significant. That means in all the criteria, Pillai's, Wilks, Links, Roy's, largest roots, in all the criteria, it shows that there is mean difference exists with respect to different criteria of independent variables. Even in the gender is not significant because it is more than 0.05. So the difference with respect to gender is not significant, but the difference with respect to board code, difference means difference of marks with respect to differences of independent variable, means board code in different criteria is significant. But the interaction board code and gender is also not showing significant difference, or significant difference is not due to the interaction of board code and gender. Okay, we can better way, in this way we can explain. Now Levens test of equality of error variance. and shows that in case of only percentage of marks in HS, this one is not is significant. That means the equality of error variance is accepted in case of board exams as well as in graduation, but rejected in case of percentage of marks in HS. Okay, there is the null hypothesis that error variances of the dependent variable is equal, so it is rejected for HS, but for the other criteria it is accepted, because we have nothing to do with respect to the data. The result is showing what the data is actually. Okay, now the tests between subjects, that means we are considering from here the board code, and the significance level is like this. With respect to board code, the test between subject effects, percentage of marks in boards, percentage of marks in HS, percentage of marks in graduation. Okay, so this is significant, this is significant, but this is not significant. So the differences in the marks, graduation marks, due to the differences in board is not significant, but the differences in marks in HS, obtained in HS with the differences in board is significant. Similarly, in the board exams, the differences in marks with respect to the criteria, that board code is also significant, board code. Similarly, for gender, the differences of marks with respect to gender, especially percentage of marks in board exam, though it is significant, less than 0.05, but the gender is not an important factor for showing the differences in marks in HS exams. And similarly, the gender is not a significant factor for showing the differences in the mean marks in graduation. Similarly, interaction is also showing not significant, the differences in marks in both board exam, HS and graduation. That means in all the three dependent variables, or the with respect to the interaction of board code and gender is not significant. In this way we can explain the tables. Similarly, this is board code. The most important is post hoc. That means if we consider percentage of marks in board exam with respect to ICSE board and CBSE board, it is not significant. The percentage of marks in board exam due to differences in board, ICSE and SBSE is significant. Okay, similarly, the CBSE, ICSE is not significant, CBSE, SBSE is significant. So with respect to the SBSE and ICSE, same result. So this shows the percentage of marks in board exam with the differences in board is significant, and these significant differences is due to the SBSE, or State Board of Secondary Education, is responsible for these differences, for these mean differences of marks in board exam. In this way we can explain. Similarly, for percentage of marks in HS, ICSE and CBSE, the difference is not significant. ICSE and SBSE difference is not significant. CBSE and ICSE not significant, but CBSE and SBSE is significant. Okay, CBSE and ICSE is also not significant, and CBSE, ICSE not significant, but CBSE and SBSE is significant. So in this way, for HS marks, differences in HS marks is not significant due to differences in ICSE board or CBSE board and ICSE or SB. So for HS, the mean difference in marks obtained in HS exam, or percentage of marks in HS exam, the difference is not due to the differences in board of ICSE or the students is from CBSE, but the difference is due to CBSE and SBSE. The difference is significant. That means though the students from state board and students from ICSE, the difference is not significant, but the students from CBSE and SBSE is significant. CBSE and SBSE is significant, though SBSE and ICSE is not significant so much, but SBSE and CBSE is significant. Similarly, in the graduation marks, percentage of marks in graduation, the differences in board, ICSE, CBSE not significant, but not significant. Therefore, for the graduation marks, for percentage of marks in graduation, the difference is not due to the differences in board, not differences in board. Okay, in this way we can classify this. Regarding percentage of marks in board exam, the state board may be taken as one group, and the CBSE and ICSE may be taken as another group. So we may treat this is as one group and SB state board of secondary education as another group. But for HS we can take that state board and ICSE as one group, and ICSE and CBSE as another group. So in this way, and in percentage of marks there is no group. We cannot able to classify in terms of any group or something like this. So the differences in marks in graduation is not due to the differences in board or something like this. This is the plot, male female plot in board exam. So the green one is male and the blue one is female, and the ICSE board. So female is better in all respects, especially in ICSE, CBSE and SBSE compared to male, according to the data, according to this data. Similarly, for this is for board secondary exam, and this is for HS, higher secondary exams. It shows female is also better than the average marks for female is better than the male marks in both ICSE, CBSE and SBSE. So females are going ahead. Similarly, in graduation, this is not true. The males for CBSE is better compared to ICSE, and for SBSE the females are better. So in this way we can explain the two-way analysis of variance.